In this video, I'm going to show you a quick and dirty way how to make toggle switches for a flight simulator home cockpit. What you need for this project is a 12-volt relay, a SPDT toggle switch, it's basically an on-on switch, a 330 microfarad capacitor, this is a 16-volt capacitor, and some wire. What I also have is a keyboard that I've taken apart and I soldered wires to the contacts on the keyboard, well, the keyboard chip. And basically, when you touch the two wires together, it's like pushing the key on the keyboard. Now I'm going to show you guys what we're going to do. I'm going to draw what I call the simple schematic. So basically what you have here is your relay. Now in your relay, there's a switch built right into it. So this is your switch. This might be a little bit complicated for some people to understand if they're not familiar with schematics. And now, also in your relay, there's a mechanism which drives the switch that makes the switch turn off and on. So I'm going to draw that. Now also what we have is your capacitor. There's a positive and negative end in the capacitor. And also what we have is your toggle switch. And there's 3 points that come out the toggle switch. And your 12-volt power supply. Volts. Now your capacitor is going to hook up to your relay. You want to make sure that you hook up the negative side to the relay. There we go. And the positive side is going to hook up to the center of the toggle switch. This is very important. Now, you want to hook up the positive 12-volt side of the power source to one side of the toggle switch. And one side to the ground. And there's also going to be another ground connection to the other side of the relay. And now the switch part of the relay is going to connect up to your keyboard. So usually you'll have 2 wires come out of your keyboard that'll operate one letter, like G for gear up. So this is the keyboard. And we'll connect the relay to it. So this is pretty much the simple schematic for the toggle switch. So basically what the circuit does is that when you flip the switch, it generates a small pulse of electricity for about a second, which flips the switch here on the relay and emulates somebody pushing the key on the keyboard. So this will drive any buttons like gear up, gear down, or toggle the landing lights on and off on your simulator. So now let's start putting it all together. We're going to solder the negative end of the capacitor to one end of the relay. So you can see this squiggly line over there. That's the end we're going to connect the capacitor to. So negative. Just going to wrap it around so it'll hold so I can solder it. Now I'm going to connect the wire for the negative end of the power supply. So I'm going to strip the end, and I like to twist it, and then shove that wire through. So now I can solder that in. Now I'm going to connect wires to the switch end of the relay, which is going to connect to the keyboard. You want to connect the wire to the center portion. How do I explain this? This delivers constant power to the switch, and one pole always gets power. One pole only gets power when it's energized. So we're going to connect one end of the switch to this constant point right here, and to the other point that only gets power when it's energized. So if you look at the diagram, we're going to connect it to this center pole and to this pole where this latch does not touch, which is this side. So start doing this. It'd be a lot easier to solder everything at once. So one side. This is the other side, and then we can solder it together. And any excess I'll cut off. It always helps to have a clean soldering tip. My tip's not that clean right now, so don't lead by my example. Well, I don't lead by example. So now we're going to start connecting the switch up to the relay. Remember, this is simple, quick, and dirty. You can have your own variation of how you do this. So if you want, you can hot glue the relay to the switch, or solder on a wire to extend the end of the capacitor, because we're going to connect the positive end of the capacitor to the center pole of the switch. So put that there. Screw it on. And now I'm going to hook up the negative leads, or negative wires. And now the positive wire. I know it looks like a mess right now. So these two wires are going to hook up to your power source, your 12-volt power source. And I'm just connect it up to the keyboard. This is our keyboard. Hook the wires up to a terminal strip. These two wires corresponded to the G button on the keyboard. So when they're connected, it pushes the G, and I set it for the landing gear to go up and down. So now let's hook it up to the computer and see how it works. Okay, now I connected the keyboard emulator to the computer. Here's the keyboard. Here's the switch. I hooked it up to the G button. Now when I toggle the switch, it should operate the landing gears. Let's see how well this works. There they go. And let's see them go back up. There they go. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys subscribe and watch my videos, I'll post more up and show you guys more in my build. Thanks again.